Hi guys, this is Julia, and today I have another card for the Make the Day special stamp store featuring some My Favorite Things supplies. I'm using this stamp set called Things with Wings, and I got this for my birthday. And I want to do some coloring with my colored pencils. I'm also going to be using the Jumbo Peekaboo circle die and then a frame die by W plus 9. I used the frame die to cut this panel out of watercolor cardstock, and now I'm using the Jumbo die by My Favorite Things to cut out this window so you can peek through this window. I'm using my ink swatches here, those are my Distress ink swatches, to figure out which colors I want to use for the background. And then I'm basically distressing the background here. I masked off the borders of my card base simply because I don't want the ink to go there, because my front panel won't extend over the entire width of the card. So that's just making sure I don't mess up, because I tend to do that sometimes. And I put on the lightest color first, and then I put down the two other colors, and then I'm coming back with my lightest color in order to do what? Oh yeah, to make it smooth. I want to have a really smooth blend. I don't want any like sharp borders in the middle of the card. I don't care about this here. And then I also want to make it shine, so I'm bringing my Perfect Pearls in the color Perfect Pearl, I know, ironic, in there, and then smooshing them out with just a towel that I have in my craft room, and then it gets all shiny and bright and pretty. I'm stamping the two images that I want to use on my watercolor cardstock, and the reason I'm using watercolor cardstock is that, those are my inks, those are my swatches for my colored pencils, by the way. Those are also done on watercolor paper, and it just helps me to pick out the colors that go together. Why am I doing all of this on watercolor paper? So here's the thing. These are the colors, first of all, that I'm going to use. The thing is that if you do layers, and coloring with colored pencils really works best when you do it in layers. That's what I learned in the class that I took. The pigment in the pencils needs something to hold on to, and good watercolor cardstock has texture. It's not completely flat, and that makes it so much easier for the color to actually grab on, and for you to allow you to have layers and to do blending. As you see here, that's probably the fourth or the fifth layer of color that I'm doing, and now I'm just blending everything out. This is the last color that I'm coming in here as the lightest one, and I'm using it to blend it out and to have a smooth blend, and I have highlights and shadows. I wasn't completely happy with the way this turned out, so I actually grabbed my Zested, that's a blending solution, put this on this paper stump, and then I'm just blending this out. And it's not doing a huge difference in like color-wise or anything, but it makes it a little bit smoother, so it's not quite as textured anymore, because here I didn't want to have all that much texture. I wanted it to be a little bit more subtle, and you can see that works perfectly when I come in with the blending solution. Because some of you asked, like, do I ever use blending solution? Yep, I actually do, as you can see here, and it helps me to smooth everything out just perfectly. I'm using pretty much the same technique on the little bird here, and you can see that layering down different colors, first lighter and then much more intense, will help to get the bird look great. Now I'm fuzzy cutting this out because I don't have the matching die. Sorry for this being a little bit, not sharp. And then I realized that I needed to cut off the little droplets around the bird because I just couldn't fuzzy cut it and make it look good. So I drew them back in with my white gel pen. And just in case some of you think like you have seen this card before, after I was finished and I was all ready to upload it and whatever, I browsed the interwebs, and I found that the My Favorite Things design team member Kay Miller had actually created pretty much this card, just a different color scheme, more or less, but the exact same card. So I was crushed, but I decided to share this card anyhow with you because I still think it's pretty, and I wanted to show you some coloring with the colored pencils, but I was not the first one to come up with this design. At least I came up with this idea. I punched 2 holes in my front panel here, and then I used twine and I cut this part out because it took me forever to get this bow right. But I put this string with the bow into the front panel as well. And then I just wanted to show that I like to use quite a bit of foam tape because I like it to be stable when I put it down. I don't want it to sag anywhere. So if the person who receives the card gets it, it should still be pretty and look great and not be like falling apart. I'm using some glossy accents behind the twine to make sure that the bow stays in place, and I'm also putting some glossy accents in the middle of the bow because I'm going to put a pearl down there, and I colored this myself. It was a white pearl and I colored it with my Copic markers. You can also use Sharpies for that, and that allows you to get the custom color, whatever color you want. Here you can see the sparkle again in the background. So that's my not so original card, but I think it still turned out really pretty. It's a card for somebody who requested a pink card. I hope she likes it, and I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye!